And welcome back. Well, from pain to injuries to disease, problems with our feet can slow us down.
Yeah, a lot of people learn to live with these problems, but if you can get to the real cause, you can get true relief. And joining us now is Dr. Michael Kokat from the Advanced Foot and Ankle of Wisconsin Group, along with one of his patients, Judy Schweitzer. Great to have both of you here. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Foot and ankle problems, I feel like, are so common, and it limits a lot of people in what they can do just on a day-to-day basis.
Correct.
Yeah, and I bet you see that all the time, people who've ignored problems and pain for long periods of time.
We see it quite often, and oftentimes patients don't get the results they're looking for. At Advanced Foot and Ankle Wisconsin, we like to change that. In today's healthcare society, the doctor-patient relationship is often limited. At Advanced Foot and Ankle, we don't do that. So our doctors will spend as much time as needed with the patient, and we'll address whatever complaints they have. And when they give the diagnoses and the treatment options, and I emphasize options, okay, those are the same diagnoses and treatment options that they would give a family member if they were sitting in that patient chair. We give our patients options because in today's society, patients need options. They don't want to be told this is the only thing available. And I think that's what makes our group special and different. We are different than most foot and ankle groups. We have a lot of subspecialized surgeons, but what we really love to do is take care of patients that have kind of bounced around the system and just haven't gotten better. And when we're able to get those patients into our office, give them the care that they need and deserve and get them better, that's what makes it worth it.
And that's really what happened with you, Judy. You had already had a surgery. You'd kind of had a situation that didn't go so well. Talk a little bit about how you found Dr. Kokat and why you looked for another doctor.
Yes, I had an injury from a surgery, and my sister-in-law had actually been seeing Dr. Kokat and recommended him, and my husband and I were very frustrated with the care that we were getting, and we're not getting answers. So we went and made an appointment, and within a week, I was having another surgery.
Well, and when you say you had a problem with your surgery, explain what happened.
I had a plantar fascia release, and the doctor had casted my foot, and when the cast came off, there was a hole in the bottom of my foot from not even where the surgery had taken place. And that hole was there for over a year, and that doctor had specifically said, well, you know, we don't know what that is, we don't know what it's from, and couldn't give me an answer. But I couldn't walk on my foot properly either.
Because there's a hole in it.
Because there's a hole in it.
And you got an infection as well, right?
Yes. That's what it was an infection. And so he had to cut the bottom of my foot, which is not normal. And it was a long process. I ended up with a PICC line and going for treatments for 6 weeks. But the thing that stuck out with Dr. Kokat was the fact that things had gotten bad, and I went to the emergency room. They admitted me. He came to my bedside at 10:30 at night after he was done seeing his patients all day and took care of my foot and had to open it, and it was awful. It was an awful experience, but he made it better because he gave me the one-on-one and never just pushed me inside, said, well, I don't have an answer for you. I mean, he didn't stop until I was healed.
True story?
True story.
True story.
Yeah.
What were you able to do for her?
Well, we were able to assess that she had a foreign body in her foot from a pain catheter that caused a bone infection. We were able to cut out the bone infection, remove the foreign body, and that allowed her to heal, and the ulcer closed, and she was able to walk pain-free. Judy's a good friend now, and it's funny, her husband's probably one of my best friends.
Oh, that's cute. I bet there's a great sense of not accomplishment, but just a good feeling to know that someone's in a lot of pain, or that for a long time they've had limited, ability to walk around even, or do common everyday activities pain-free. To help people heal from that and be able to resume those activities, I'm sure is a really good feeling.
Yeah, it makes it all worth it. I mean, that's why we do what we do.
Well, and I think a lot of times people don't always get that one-on-one, and that's a big part when we talk about patient care, of having, that one-on-one. How you said, he came to my bedside, talked to me here. It was 10:30 at night. Oftentimes you're sort of pushed off onto other people, I think, in patient care. And so it sounds like that was something, too, that really made a difference in the way you felt about the decisions you were making moving forward.
It did. And he's helped a lot of people in my family, a lot of my friends. And there was even an incident with my daughter where she cut the back of her heel. And instead of going to the emergency room, we called Dr. Kokat. He took her right in, right away, stitched it up, and saw her. And so it was much nicer to know we had that one-on-one.
Someone who's an expert in that. We ran out of time, but just quickly, what types of common foot and ankle problems do you treat?
Some of our doctors are very specialized, so we can see ulcers that are not healing, and we have doctors that can do flaps, plastics. It's really interesting. We have other doctors that specialize in ankle replacements, which is kind of new on the market, ankle fusions. Some of our physicians specialize in pediatrics, which is really kind of
Kids.
interesting because a lot of times that's missed by the primary care physician. So we do a lot, and we have a lot of subspecialty, which is what I think separates us as well.
Plantar fasciitis, bunions, all that good stuff too.
Right, all the run-of-the-mill stuff as well.
All the good stuff. And people can find out more about all the other doctors who practice with you in your group by looking at the website. They have 4 locations for Advanced Foot and Ankle of Wisconsin. You can find out more online by visiting advancedfootanklewi.com, or you can call this phone number now for a consultation. To make an appointment, call 262-763-9007, because the bottom line is, don't suffer, because the help is available. Great to
Yeah.
see you. Thank you so much for sharing
Thanks
your
for
story.
having
Nice
us.
to meet
again.
you, doctor.
Nice to meet you.